at all times. But the key for that group is to defend. If you can get stops, you can get out and run. That's when that group is at its best because you don't have the luxury of coming down and playing through Nicola in the post or wherever it may be. So defend, rebound, run, and then other guys just playing their game and playing the games to the best of their ability.
Do you try to coincide that with whether you're ahead, whether you're behind, what the score is, or is it simply he needs certain periods of the game to be on the side?
Well, he can't play 48. I mean, I got to get Nicola out. So he's been running the first and third quarter, and he sits to start the second and fourth.
Second row over here.
Michael Pina, The Ringer. How would you assess Nicola's defense throughout this entire playoff run, defending the rim, pick and roll coverages, and just how important is it against the Miami Heat in this series?
Well, I think overall, Nicola's defense has been a real positive. And I think you have to get past the eye test with Nicola, because I think most people just think of great defensive players as a guy who's blocking a shot or just making a great athletic play. Nicola does it differently. He has a tremendous IQ. He's got great anticipation. He's got unbelievable hands for deflections, blocks. He's got unbelievable feet for deflections. To your point, Miami, they're going to run a lot of pick and rolls. I think they'll lead the playoffs in double drags set per game, as well as just over 50 direct screen and rolls per game, with Jimmy handling the majority of those. So through 16 games now, people put Nicola in a crazy amount of pick and rolls. And we, I think, do a pretty good job of mixing up our coverages, mixing up our levels. Sometimes he's up, sometimes he's down, sometimes we switch. We got into in the Lakers series, Nicola switching on to LeBron at times. And when you first hear that, it doesn't sound like, well, there's no way you're going to switch Nicola onto LeBron, but he actually did a pretty good job at times. So I think his defense is underrated, and I think his maturation in the 8 years, I think there's been a big part of it as well, him understanding that I have to be the best defensive player I can be to help this team become the best team that they can be, and he doesn't shy away from that responsibility.
Tim, back right.
Tim Reynolds, Associated Press. Michael, in every game one in these playoffs, you guys have had a lead of 20 or 30-something in every game, and then the conversation pivots to adjustments, and game twos, you've done pretty well in those too. What is the trick for you as far as to not kind of go crazy about thinking what the other side is doing with these adjustments and just sort of worrying about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I don't think we played well in game one. I watched that tape, and they were 5 of 16 on wide open threes. As I told our players this morning, the fact that they got 16 wide open threes is problematic. And if you think that Max Strus is going to go 0 for 9 again, or Duncan Robinson is going to go 1 for 5 again, you're wrong. So there were so many the fourth quarter, we gave up 30 points, 60% from the field, 50 from three, 6 of 12 from the three-point line. So, I told our players today, don't read the paper. Don't listen to the folks on the radio and TV saying that this series is over and that we've done something, because we haven't done a damn thing. We won game one. And the reason I told our players I was excited this morning was because we won game one and we didn't play well. And there's so many things we can do better. And if we do those things at a better level, we'll have a chance to win game two tomorrow night. But I thought our pick and roll defense was poor. I thought our shrink the floor was poor. And I felt they got 11 offensive rebounds. Bam had 4, Jimmy had 3. So there's so many areas that we can clean up. So I'm not worried about what they're going to do. I'm worried about the things that we have to do better to try to win game two.
Third row over here, Mike.
Mike Singer, Denver Post. Michael, you guys always talk about positional size. In terms of themes going into this series, was that a place that you wanted to exploit? Did you make a concerted effort to take advantage of your size up and down that starting unit?
I think it's just playing to your strengths. You know what I mean? And feeling how the game goes. You never know how a team is going to guard you. Early in that game, they were switching some things that allowed Aaron to sit down in that paint and post up a smaller player. And I think he had 14 of his 16 points in that first half and got us off to a great start. But that's something that organizationally, that's something conversations with Calvin Booth when he took over last summer, that was their priority. When you looked at last year's NBA Finals, not many small players out there because people are going to find you. And, we wanted to have positional size, strength, versatility, and I think Calvin's done a hell of a job kind of putting this group together.
Back left.
Young was like ESPN. Michael, when it came to your three-point shooting, did you like the shots you got, and you'll take that in this next game? And knowing Spo the way you do, what do you expect from him tomorrow night?
Yeah, I thought we had some pretty good looks. The reason their zone was effective in that fourth quarter is because we didn't get any stops. I mean, they shot 60%, which allowed them to set up in their zone every possession, it seemed. But you look at the first two shots we got against their zone. Nikola was in the middle of the paint, great look. Jamal gets one, middle of the paint, great look. We missed those. Michael Porter gets a corner three, great look, doesn't go in. So I talked about them being 5 of 16 on wide open threes. I think maybe we were 1 for 6 on wide open threes. But with how heavy they are in terms of guarding the paint, we also have to generate more threes and more quality threes, and I think those will be there. And regarding their adjustments, knowing Spo the way I do, it's not about adjustments. It's about energy and effort. And I know I learned a long time ago when I first got in the league, before you make an adjustment, you have to ask yourself 2 questions. Are we executing the game plan correctly, and are we doing it with energy and force? Everybody, we got to adjust. Well, you never gave the damn game plan a chance to work in the first place. So for me, it's not going to be adjustments. It's going to be, I expect the Miami Heat to come out with a much greater energy and force and attack mindset tomorrow evening.
Last two, second row, and then Joe in the back.
Coach Robert O'Connell, Wall Street Journal. Obviously, early in the game, everybody knows Nikola was doing a lot of distributing, especially to Jamal late in the game. To stave off that fourth quarter run, Jamal hit Nikola a couple times for big buckets in the paint. When you talk about all the different ways that particular two-man game can go and all the different ways you can adjust it, how important is that when you get in a finals series and you're going up against different defenses possession by possession to be able to react in the moment with that?
Well, I think those two especially have just tremendous amount of experience in doing so. They've played together for 7 years now, and we've been in a lot of big games, obviously never in the finals before, but Jamal and Nikola, to me, has been a potent two-man game for many, many years now. And they know how to communicate with each other without even speaking, just reading and playing off of each other and making the right reads. And I think the key to that two-man game is making sure the other 3 players are spaced correctly so they can operate in space. And no matter how you guard that, there's a counter to it. And you're talking about 2 really skilled, talented, and unselfish players who are willing to make the right play every time.
Last question, Joe on the right in the middle.
Joe Varden, The Athletic. Michael, you were talking a little bit ago about all the ways you didn't play well. Bam Adebayo took 25 shots, and it seemed like he was open quite a bit. 13 went in. How much of that was the game plan, giving him room to shoot after the tough conference finals he had?
Well, we didn't go in saying, we're going to make Bam Adebayo beat us. We came in with full respect for Bam Adebayo. But if you're going to score 26 points on 25 shots, that's something that we're willing to live with. But we can do a better job. I mean, that's something that we talked about today, giving him different looks, making sure we're contesting, making sure we're shrinking the floor, whatever it may be. But, he's a very effective player. He can play make, he can rebound and push, he scores in the pocket, offensive rebounds, whatever it is. Like Bam can control the game in a lot of different ways. That's the reason he's an all-star. And we just have to make sure that we are working and contesting and making him feel us as best as possible.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody.
Take first question up here in the front on the left. Let's get the microphone here 1 second. Right in the aisle.
Tell me about the motivation of this possibility to give the city the first NBA title. What would that mean? And especially for the kids from Denver, that they want to be like you. So what kind of message could you send them?
I mean, yes, of course, its motivation is huge just because it's never done before. You know, we're gonna leave some legacy if we do it, but I don't know. Are kids supposed to look up for me or whatever? I think they need to have their own path.
Second row on your right on the aisle.
Hi, Nicole. I'm Bill Roden. I'm with ESPN's Landscape. You just mentioned legacy. You're building a tremendous legacy here and at home. What would you like to achieve in the next 5 and 8 years? What other things would you like to achieve in terms of building a legacy?
To be honest, I don't think about that much. I'm just playing, and my focus was never been those kind of records or whatever the guys, the media are putting on me. You know, I'm just trying to win a game and just play every game, go step by step and play every game is to win a game. You know, as simple as that.
Fabio Malavasi, hello.
What's up?
You've been working with Felipe for a long time, you know, and you had the ultimate goal, of course, to win the championship, but you're not there yet. But can you describe what this moment means for both of you?
Yes, I mean, he's always the guy who is always optimism, and he's always energy is so high, and I'm completely opposite of him. But just to have him as since I came here, and we are kind of growing together, and now we have opportunity to do something nice. I think it's good for both of us.
Mike, over here in the third row.
Mike Singer, Denver Post. Nicola, Malone just said, I don't think we played well in game one. I don't want to assume that you agree with him, but if you do, what needs to be cleaned up going into tomorrow night?
I mean, I think the basketball, everybody, they didn't play even, some possessions we play amazing, some possessions we didn't play good. Some quarters we play really good. And I think that's basketball. That's why it's a live thing. You cannot predict what's going to happen, Yes, of course, we're going to be better, but we're going to take 1-0 for us, So just being a focus for 48 minutes, I think that's going to be the key. Just the way how they play, and they always they don't let their guard down, and they always playing the same way with the same pace, and I think that's why they are great.
Second row over here.
Michael Pina, The Ringer. Nicola, how would you assess your defense throughout this entire postseason run, and just how unique of a challenge are the Miami Heat for you on that end?
I think I need to get a trophy, my friend. I don't know where it is. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not just me. I think when you see the last game, let's say against Miami, in the first 3 quarters they scored 65, let's say 68 points. I think that's really amazing. And then you can see the 4th quarter they scored 30 something. When we are collectively really good, then I'm really good too. But when we are collectively not good, I'm not really good. So I think it goes as how good the team is. That's how I'm good in defense. I'm gonna say like that.
Alvaro over here standing.
Alvaro Martin, NBA Latam. I was in Belgrade in 2016 for that Olympic qualifier. I think you were the MVP of that team. There was a thrill to that team and being in that team, and there was a responsibility there too. You have the same thing here at the NBA. How does the thrill and the responsibility compare between your work with Serbia and your work with the Nuggets?
It's different. It's different when you play for Serbia. It's always a little bit more of emotions, adrenaline. The whole country is cheering for you, and that's the dream for every player that ever played, probably from Serbia, that to play for national team. So it's a little bit more of let's say pressure, but it's not pressure, just emotion. It's a little bit of everything, let's say, for one little next level of everything.
Ethan standing over here on the left.
Ethan Skolnick, 5 Reasons Sports. Your coach was just talking about Bam and the respect that you guys have for him. The Heat have fed off his energy a lot this season. They tend to play better when he's aggressive early. What's the trade-off there with him? Because obviously you don't want Jimmy beating you, the shooters beating you, but 26 points off 25 shots. How did you feel you guarded Bam in game one?
I mean, the shots that he made, it was pretty easy shots for him. I need to do a little bit better job just to make him uncomfortable. I think he can go to the shots that he wants, if that make any sense. But I just need to be there just to him to do another step or another dribble on another move, just to don't give him the easy ones. Let's say like that.
Steve, on your front right.
Steve Ashburn at NBA.com. What has it been like for you in the past when you sit out and you see your team kind of have to scramble? And what's it been like now in the playoffs? Mike was saying that he feels the other guys have done a better job when you're not in the game.
Yes, I mean, I think in the past nobody. There was never like always everybody was always somebody's injured, so we never had a constant group of the guys coming with the bench. If that makes any sense. Now when we kind of know the rotation, I think the guys are doing a really good job of playing and being aggressive and attacking when they see the seams.
Last two on the left side, Walker and then Melissa in the back.
Walker Kessler, Kessler Sports fan page. Just want to ask, I know you get a lot of questions about basketball and everything, man, but just want to know, how you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I like it. Doing good. It's rainy today, so it was rainy when I came here. So,
listen, my day got brighter when I saw you. So.
Oh, I like it, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate. I think we're just waiting for the game to come, and I think when the game comes, everything is gonna be normal. Right now, everything is a little bit too much.
Awesome. Thank you. Big fan.
Thank you, my friend.
Last one, Melissa, back left, standing.
Hey, Nicola, Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. How important has DeAndre Jordan's voice in the locker room been for this team?
It's not just him. I think he played with a lot of good players. He was in some good teams, and he saw a little bit of everything, But Ish, Jeff, and him are kind of all heads, let's say like that. When they talk, I think everybody listens, because if you listen to them, you can hear some really smart things and can help you play the game. And I'm really appreciative and I'm really thankful for them.
Thank you, Nicola.
Pleasure to call us, guys.
Jamal Murray will be next. Miami in here, Spo, Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler.
I was looking at them yesterday. Our room is good. That room is all right. It's like they're too spread out. I was watching it yesterday.
I mean, that's great.
We've got boom mics around the room. We'll take questions. First question over here, second row on one, second seat.
Jamal, Robert O'Connell, Wall Street Journal. Obviously, early in the game, Nikola was setting a lot of his teammates up. You, especially late in the game, when Miami made that push, a couple key buckets going in the opposite direction, you setting Nikola up. Can you talk about all the variation you have baked into that partnership, that two-man game, and how valuable that is, especially against a defense that adjusts coverages as much as Miami does?
Yeah, I mean, we got 5 guys on the court. I thought Aaron set the tone when they switched. I think I took like 15 shots in the first 2 quarters, so there was really no need for him to be aggressive. We're dominating the game, and then when they went zone, he just found the pocket, found the middle of the floor, and made some key shots in the paint. And I just think it was a great team game. We had a lot of guys. Mike played really well. KCP was solid on defense the whole game. So we had a lot of guys step up throughout the game.
Alvaro standing here on the left.
Alvaro Martin, NBA Max. You were in Medellin for Basketball Without Borders in 19. That young man was carefree, happy-go-lucky. You've lived through some since then. What would you have told that young Jamal Murray in 2019? And could he have expected anything that you told him about your experience?
Just to stay with it, life's gonna happen, stuff's gonna happen. You just gotta keep the mental fortitude to bounce back in whatever it is, and just stay strong. This too shall pass. It goes for everything, so negative and positive. So just keeping a level head and knowing that you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel one day.
Tim in the back right.
Jamal, Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. You guys only sent Miami to the line one time for 2 shots in game 1. I know the goal on every possession is obviously to defend without fouling, but given the emotions and the energy and all that comes with a finals opener, how did you guys do it so well on Thursday?
Just understanding what they're trying to do. They shoot a lot of threes, so they don't have anybody that's going to the rim like that. They missed a lot of really good looks as well. I think so did we. But yeah, you just got to show your hands, stay disciplined, and I think we did a good job of setting our defense. We had guys on the string, and our low man was there repeatedly. And like I said, just trying to defend, knowing that they're trying to get to the free throw line, so trying to defend without fouling.
Mike on the left side over here, third row.
Mike Singer, Denver Post. Jamal, a couple days ago, Malone was recalling back to the bubble, and he said that every time he ran into the Heat, it felt like they always had a bottle of wine with them. Do you have any recollections or memories of running into guys from the Heat in the bubble? I know you ran into Donovan all the time, but anything with the Heat?
No.
No. Okay.
I have one of my high school teammates who played for the Heat at the time, so I saw him a lot. But other than that, no.
We're going to go back in the 5th row in the middle.
Hi, Jamal. Sergio from Drafteados, Spain. I was going to ask you about, I did an interview with you back in 2017 in Spain, in Barcelona. And we talked a lot about meditation, about your Kung Fu past, about your training with your father and everything. I'm curious, you still do that? Do you still meditate between games? How is that helping you? How that helped you get to this point in the finals?
Yeah, not just the finals, though. It's way before that, meditating before games or at halftime. I'm just taking time to myself to reflect on the good or the bad and come out with the right energy before the game or during the game if I need to adjust. And, yeah, it's not just basketball. It helps me out with myself, reflecting on myself, and be able to have a conversation with myself honestly so that I can improve within myself. And I think that's important for everybody, but basketball-wise, it just helps me refresh and get back to base and a free mind.
Left side on the aisle, 5th row.
Back here, Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Jamal, you had fantastic first half offensively for you guys. Second half, things kind of bogged down a little bit, especially in that 4th quarter. I'm wondering, when you went back to the game, when you revisited the tape, how did you feel about the process on offense in the second half? Do you still feel like you were getting to what you wanted to, or do you feel like there's things you need to clean up?
Oh yeah, we missed some really good looks. I know Miami missed a lot of shots, but we missed some point blank shots as well. when they went zone, Yoke missed a open 15-footer. I missed a open 10-footer. Mike missed a wide open corner three. I missed a catch and shoot on the wing, which was wide open. I mean, I think there's a couple more, but we got the looks we needed. We just didn't knock them down. So if we knock them down, I think they'll start to break up the zone a little bit and go back to man. But it doesn't matter. I think we played a good game, and they were trying to fight back all game. So I thought we did a good job of just maintaining the lead and not playing conservative, but using the clock and not turning the ball over as well.
Third row in the center. Microphone's coming on your left.
Jamal, Ryan Blackburn, Mile High Sports. Just wanted to, given how big this moment has been for you guys just over the course of the season, you were building for this over back since October, basically. Just wondering whether you thought that this was what you would expect, or if it's a little bit different from how you would perceive it.
You're talking about the finals? Yeah. I mean, I don't. Like I said, first round finals, it's nothing until you win it, right? So we haven't won it yet. So until we win it, then I think we'll look at it a little different by then.
Second row over here.
Michael Pina, the ringer. Michael Malone described Nikola Jokic's defense, or Nikola Jokic as an underrated defender a few minutes ago. How would you assess him on that end throughout this postseason, and just how important is he in this matchup against the Miami Heat?
He's a really good defender. He's got great hands, and most of all, he's got great IQ on defense. He knows what the offensive player is trying to get to. Their tendencies, cat and mouse, rule avert, just everything. He talks early in pick and rolls. I mean, I can just post defense. There's everything. I think he does a great job in defense. Everybody's going to have something that they don't do well on the court, and for that to be the one thing that he doesn't do particularly well and be able to still do it at a high level is pretty impressive. So, yeah, he's been doing it all season, and he's been getting better at it too. So I only see room for improvement for him.
Last two, back right, and then over here on the fourth row.
Jamal, Jacob Toby with 9 News, Denver. You guys have gone up 2-0 each series this postseason. How big would it be to go up 2-0 in a finals for you guys as you go to Miami?
Any series, you're just trying to win every game, just first to four, no matter how you get it done. Obviously, you want to take advantage of being at home. Love playing at home, but any game you can win, you take. So yeah, we're looking forward to just winning every single game that we play.
Last question over here in the fourth row.
Hey, Jamal, Itai Lari Aretz. You talked about the open shots you missed in the fourth quarter. Do you think it has something to do with the lack of experience and the pressure of first final appearance ever?
No.
Thank you, Jamal. Just a reminder for Miami, we will start at 1:15. In here will be Coach. Let me get the right side. Coach, Bam, then Jimmy. Nuggets interview room is clear. Yep.